One of the other proposed changes is block granting Medicaid. You should be aware that the state of Wisconsin is currently seeking a waiver to change Medicaid structure, and that is something to be aware of, but it's separate from what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So in the proposed American Health Care Act passed by Congress last week, now going to the Senate, that bill makes it so that Medicaid money isn't given to states based on need or the number of people who need to enroll, but is rather a set amount of money, and then the state uses that money on however many people it is that they want to use it on, or they've set across in the waiver, and then they go ahead and they stop enrollment. Some states may choose to go and continue enrollment and just self-fund it through state revenue dollars, but Wisconsin has promised not to do that. And it is similar to what we had before the Affordable Care Act and before the governor did partially expand Medicaid so that people under 100% of the federal poverty level could get Badger Care, which I thought was a great and smart move. They could have expanded it a little more, but I'm grateful that they expanded it to 100%. So what would happen if the American Health Care Act became law and repealed the Affordable Care Act and that Medicaid funding is that the state could do a waiver so that they would only cover a certain amount of people, and then they would cap enrollment. So what we used to have in Wisconsin was a program called Badger Care Core, and that had a stopping point. They only allowed a certain number of people in it, and then they entirely closed enrollment. So essentially in Wisconsin, unless you were a child or the parent of a child or elderly and disabled, it was impossible to get Medicaid unless you had already been in a program and continued to pay. That program in particular had premiums. So right now enrollment is quite easy. The state's seeking to change it for different reasons, but if the American Health Care Act does get approved, we will go to block granting, and there will be many fewer people who are eligible for Medicaid or able to get into Medicaid, even though they aren't able to buy private insurance because their income is very low. My biggest concern is that a lot of the people who are on Badger Care are transitional folks, maybe in school and just working a little bit part-time because they're taking classes full-time and they don't have access to insurance through their parents. And then also people who have disabilities but are waiting for Social Security disability to kick in. Even if you're found disabled, Social Security has a 6-month wait period before you even get a payment. So a lot of those people, their only option is to get Badger Care because they have no income. So I'm most worried about those folks. But I am very concerned also about block granting and capping enrollment. We saw that happen before in Wisconsin, and it was really a mess of a system. So that's basically what's going on with block granting and the proposal. And I hope that helps you be better informed. And if any of these videos have concerned you, or whether you agree that this is something you want, a direction you want our country to go in, I really encourage you to call your elected representatives, particularly your senators, as this bill heads to the Senate for approval coming up soon. Thank you.